Hi everybody, welcome and welcome back to my channel. This is Kriti and I'm back with another interview on my YouTube channel. The topic today is doing an MBA in Denmark, and to cover everything about this topic, I have Ishita with me, like my new friend who I met last year during Diwali. So Ishita, thank you so much for doing the interview and welcome to my YouTube channel.
Thank you, Kriti. I'm very excited to be part of your YouTube channel. Thank you for your invitation. And yes, we have been planning it for so long, finally.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Ishita. I came to Denmark to do my master's, and I have like a professional experience of 10 years. And then I decided to upskill myself, and then here I am. And I'm about to graduate.
Okay, so congratulations on graduating, Ishita, and good that we are able to do the interview before you graduate. You are doing MBA in Koling, and I'm gonna be talking about the place because I think I have not yet been to Koling. But before Koling, let's discuss about why you chose Denmark for an MBA because I'm assuming you must have had a lot of other options, to choose from. Then why Denmark for an MBA?
First of all, thank you, Kriti. I'm very happy that I'm graduating very soon. Yeah, why Denmark? Everyone keeps asking, like whoever I meet here in Denmark, everyone keeps asking the same thing. Yeah, Denmark was not the first option. My brother lives in US, so there were different options for me for pursuing masters. So there was USA, there was Canada, Ireland, Germany, like every Indian who plans to go study abroad, they make this list of different countries and then they keep, and Denmark just came out of the blue. I think the main reason about Denmark was that the program was very interesting. That was the first point. And also the fees was quite affordable. And Denmark is an English speaking country. Like when before you come to Denmark, that's
Yeah,
what you get here, right? That everyone speaks English, and that is true. I
yeah.
think I will say that is true, though there is another part to it. But yes, I think those were the points which made Denmark as a very attractive option for me to opt for the MBA for my master's program.
So every time I speak with someone who's doing like master's, MBA or PhD, they always say that Denmark was not my first option. And now, since you're like almost graduating, was your decision a great one? Like, did you have fun in these last almost 2 years that you have been here in Denmark?
Yes, I do not regret my decision at all. The journey is, yeah, I wouldn't say for people who are planning to come that it is very easy. No, the journey is not easy, but I would say it was very rewarding and it was fun, is what I would say. So, yeah, it's a very good option for higher studies.
What was the specialization and about the college that you went to, like you're doing the MBA from?
I did my master's from IBA. So IBA is a college in Kolding. Kolding is a one of the biggest cities in Denmark, we should say. And the program was for 1.5 years. The program was mostly for working professionals, someone who has worked as a manager for 2 years. That was one of the criterias to get admission here, and then you can opt for this program. And the name of the program is MBA in General Management. So it doesn't have like any single specialization, but there
Mm-hmm.
are different topics, like different modules where the human resource, sales, finance, all these modules are included. So it is more like like the name suggests, like general
Yeah.
management. All the different aspects involved in business administration are covered. So that was
Okay.
also one of the reasons why I selected this program.
I get a lot of questions, asking for, help me get an admission here. Like, what's the process, application process? And every time I look into the website of any university, any college, any MBA program, especially in Denmark, I see the details are very well put together. So, what would you say about this? How is the application process if somebody wants to do it?
For myself, I had taken help from an agent who helped me with the entire admission process. But like you said, Kriti, the websites in Denmark are pretty easy and very user friendly. I would say the steps are very clearly mentioned. So for
Hmm.
someone who has a lot of time to do their research and do the process, I think they can do it by themselves. But for me, as I was already working and I had a full-time job, so I didn't have time to, research and go through and do all the process all by myself. So that is why the agent came in quite handy and it was very helpful. But I think if someone has the time, they can also do it themselves. It is pretty easy, I would say.
How is it in Denmark when you're doing an MBA?
In the beginning, when I came here, I felt like how am I going to manage, working and also studying two things at a time, and I was very doubtful how everything is going to be managed. But then when I came here, I saw it was properly planned. I would say even on behalf of the college, because we had the classes in the morning, and then by 2 we were done from college, and then we
Hmm.
had our time 3 to 4 hours to go to work, any kind of work that a student wishes to. And then you also have some hours for language school, because obviously maybe I think we will talk about that later. But yeah,
Yeah.
for language school or your some personal time. So I think that is very nicely planned, and I think the college also thinks about it and plans the classes accordingly. So the work
Hmm.
life balance or the study life balance is pretty good in Denmark, I would say.
And how is it with like the teachers? Like, how is the study
Yeah.
system in Denmark according to you? Like, what did you feel while doing this program?
In Denmark, I noticed some very major differences. I would say not so much as a cultural shock, but yeah, there are some changes. Like the teachers are very friendly in classes, and we are made to work in groups. Like
Hmm.
every lecture we have some group work. I think they prepare us for the future jobs. If you wish to also work in Denmark, how you have to work in groups, and how to manage the groups. So that was very impressive, I would say. And I had a lot of fun working in groups in the class.
And you managed to find a job while studying and within a month. So how was that? Because I think that will really help people who are planning to come to Denmark for any studies. Their number one question is how to find a job while studying. So how was your experience and what are some tips?
Yeah, so Denmark is pretty expensive. Everyone knows about it. So if you come here to study, obviously you have to do a job. Maybe not immediately, but still in a few days of time, you have to start working to cover the cost, living cost, and all these things. That's true. There are events organized by colleges, and we had this business lunch, and it was just the next month. Like we came in February, and we had a business lunch in March, and then there are companies there, and we met all the companies, and there were a lot of internship opportunities. And then we found out that these internship opportunities are not paid. So that
Mhm.
was one of the points where people take back foot, that okay, it's not paid, and people think that what should be done. So here I think I would like to pass on this message to everyone who is the students who are coming to Denmark, that internships are very important, even at a very initial stage, because I got an internship and it was not paid. But within 2 months, I got hired there immediately as a student worker. So here in Denmark, there's a concept of student assistant. So you can also apply for student assistant jobs, but I think internship is a very good way to reach there, I would say, because that's how I landed a job. It has a lot of potential, because you also learn, and then you can also prove it to the company that if you can do the job, and then
Yeah.
they hire you.
Very good to remember that if you're getting any internship position, whether it's paid or not, and even it's not paid, you should do it because it can lead to the next step, to getting hired by the company. Yeah.
Yes, that's true. I want to add something here, that usually there is a time period duration of this internship. So it might say 6 months or 3 months or 4 months. So sometimes students they are not sure that can they work for so long as an intern. But that is the beauty of Denmark, that things are very flexible. And if we just give it a chance, and then if
Hmm.
you can explain your side, that what is your requirement, and then if it fits with the company as well, then you get the opportunity. So I think in Denmark, people should not hold back, is what
Yeah.
I would suggest.
There is like work life balance, there is study life balance. So you will be able to manage it.
Yes, that's true. Even the workplaces are very flexible. Like in the beginning, I couldn't go for internship all the days of the week. They adjusted the schedule, and I was just going for 2 days in a week. And then one of
Ah.
the days I was working from home. So that's what I was saying, that people are very understanding and very flexible.
Yeah, if you're coming to Denmark, it's good to know that these things that also organized by the university, right? Like if there are some events happening for finding a job, so attend those events.
Yes, that's true. And another point here, Kriti, is like it's not limited to only one college. Like if I'm studying in IBA, but if there is another event happening in another
Ah.
nearby college, or there is an event happening in Aalborg University or Copenhagen, these opportunities, like any student in Denmark can attend and register for these events. So I think just keep an eye open and then register and participate and take part in all the
Hmm.
events possible, because it's very important to expand your network in Denmark. And there are a lot of good things I think the Danish government and also the colleges arrange, especially for international students. So,
Okay.
and every city, I think they have this page or this groups on Facebook and Instagram. Like for calling, we have this campus calling group where every week they post all the events, like free events, paid events, all kinds of events happening every week. So like we get this post weekly, and then
Okay.
students can find out whichever event fits their schedule, they can go and attend.
It looks
So
like there is like a hub, once you're a student, there's so many options and opportunities. It's just that you have to be on top of it and ask for help, reach out.
yes, that's true. And also, Kriti, here I think that there's another point that also companies like Rambio, like it's a big company, Novo Nordisk, and there are a lot of companies. They also host this student days. Students can follow, and I've attended quite a few, also some international conferences. Like I attended conference called Wind Europe. It was all for these professionals from wind energy, but still they had this special program for students, and all I had to do was just register and I could take
Okay.
part in that conference. So I think students, even before coming to Denmark, I think they should do some research and keep, follow all the pages on social media and LinkedIn, obviously, because they post all these things on the social media. And that's the beauty of Denmark, I would say, that
Yeah.
everyone, it's open for everyone. It's just
Yeah.
for you to take that step, I would say.
How did you find it, like an accommodation in Koling?
Yeah, so for students, every city has these groups. So here
Hmm.
we have the student calling group, and we found out from the college. So the college told us, and then I had applied for it from when I was in India. So even before I came here, I was allotted a student apartment. So
Okay.
student apartment are these, where it's a bit subsidized rate, like the
Hmm.
prices are lesser, the rent is lesser than normal rent. So I
Hmm.
would suggest these are not like hostels, but just private apartments specially made for students. So
Okay.
I think everyone should take the benefit of these. And it's very simple. You just register and then put in your request for an apartment. And when are you coming to Denmark? You have to just mention that date. And most of the options are available on the websites, and students just need to follow those. And if they have any questions, they can always reach out to the colleges. They will definitely help them out. But it's important to start looking for it even before they come to Denmark.
Yeah, like do proper research from your end, right? When you are planning and thinking about doing some program in Denmark. I want to like quickly ask you about Koling, which sounds more like cold, and it is very
Holding.
cold, colding. And I think it's eighth or maybe seventh largest city. How is life in Koling as like just living? Do you get to see other people? Do you have events like at an international level? Do you get to meet other people? And how is it?
When I came here, I said cold. I used to say colding, and
Colding,
I
yeah.
think all the students who will come will say colding. But yes, then I started learning Danish, and then I knew it's calling, not colding.
There
But
is no D, right? It's a
no,
soft D, so calling, yeah.
Calling, yeah. So yes, it's a very nice and cozy city, I would say. People are very nice, helpful, warm. Everyone is smiling at you. So it's a very nice city. Yeah, you asked about making friends. I made some friends through college, through work. Here, something I want to mention is about this. Some of this concept of clubs in Denmark. Like if you have a hobby,
Yeah.
some stitching, knitting, or painting or poetry or pottery, there are these small group of people who have this common hobby, and they make some clubs. And there are also some associations where you can volunteer. So I think
Yeah.
these two are the places where students should look for and go and participate. I think then it is possible to make friends and know
Yeah.
people and expand your network. And they have a lot of events. You also asked about events. So not so much in the winter, but in when I came in the summer, like there were a lot of events happening, and it was pretty fun. And then you realize how important it is to take part in these events and be part of it because
Yeah.
otherwise everything is shut. So what
Yeah.
do you
I
do?
have this thing like you have to make friends during the summertime so that you can be happy during the winter time, you know. Otherwise, then you are like, then you have to leave Denmark during winter time for some time because then it is very
Yes.
difficult. We didn't touch upon the language, but how was it for you as an expat? First impression of Danish language.
It was the actual definition of a foreign language. Like you
Hmm.
understand nothing, like nothing at all. I had learned a bit of German, so some of the words I could read. Okay, it is written the same way, but when they
Yeah.
say it, no,
Yeah, the
it's
pronunciation. Yeah. But how is it for you
completely
now?
different.
Because you were also doing the language classes.
Yes, I'm still learning Danish, and
I
every
felt like you're
time,
saying I'm still struggling, like how I am.
yeah,
I've passed
read
exam, but
you're reading between the lines, and you are very correct because yeah, I'm still struggling. I think it's a very important part of, even if someone who is coming for studying IT or even working in a field where maybe even where I was working, it was English was the language,
yeah,
so it was not needed, like that's what I would say. But how important it is, I think it I realized only after coming here in Denmark, because also when you study Danish, you also understand the culture
yeah,
and understand the people. So it's very important to learn Danish, I would say. And
yeah.
there's nothing to lose, and it's going to be a fun. I think my Danish classes are the most fun, I would say.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
and actually, yeah, you make good friends because you connect so well because everybody's sharing the same pain, you know. So you make friends so fast, you know, when
True, true.
studying the language. Ishita, thank you so much for this interview. We have covered so many topics, and I'm pretty sure it will be helpful for so many people who actually now planning to like now they are planning to come to Denmark or understand just about MBA life in Denmark.
Thank you, Kriti. Thank you so much for having me. And it was so much fun to have this conversation. And it's always, nice to help people where
Yeah.
you have been through the same struggle. So I know where maybe these things can be helpful, even for students who have not come here yet.
Thank you so much, everybody. Bye bye.